it's me, your fanboy, and today is another top 10 list kind of video. It's a little different. Basically, as some of you might know, I don't think a lot of you, but some of you know, is that this year, 2021, is the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, which I love the franchise to death. Even despite all of its flaws and stuff, it's still one of my favorite ever. I probably could name all the Pokemon if you gave me like a whole day to remember. It would definitely take a while. So, basically this video is going to be it's going to be me talking about my 5 favorite things about Pokemon and my 5 least favorite things I hate. And this video is totally just my silly, dumb old opinion, so definitely, if you disagree, I definitely don't mean it as like an attack towards you or anything. We're allowed to have different opinions, and I probably agree with you on most of your opinions. I definitely think so. So just keep an open mind if you're easily offended to some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about. And even then, it's like, if you do want to get mad, that's fine. You're entitled to your own opinion. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's talk about it. So, we're going to start with the number 5 for the first things I hate. We'll go from the bottom of the list to the top of the list. So, and we'll start with worst and go to best, then worst to best, worst to best. It's kind of like the sequel video I did for Christmas movies a tiny little bit back. So, basically, the one thing, number 5 of the things I hate about Pokemon is that whole Dex cut thing. I know, don't click on the video yet. Trust me, I definitely think it was needed, and I totally see the reason for it. But it's like, the big reason for the Dex cut was to make the rest of the game really good, and I think they said to improve the overall animations and stuff in the game. But not to be too controversial, the animations in Sword and Shield especially are not super robust. Some of them look really good. Like Hyper Beam especially, whenever I see it in game, I'm super like, oh, it looks so cool! There's a lot of very cool animations in it. But overall, I think a lot of things, I don't know, I feel, especially since the models for the Pokemon are not brand new. They're just being ported over from the 3D era, like with X and Y and Ultra Sun and stuff like that. And sure, they do have to make new models for the new Pokemon, obviously. I feel like it can't be all that hard, right? I feel like it definitely, I definitely don't know that much about making a game of that scale, but from what I've heard other people talk about it, it surely can't be as difficult as they make it out to be. That being said, this one is so far down on the list because we did get most of the Pokemon back so far. There are some that are missing, like my boy Spoink. Oh, I really wish I could play with Spoink in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I love Spoink to death. And of course, my favorite Pokemon ever is not even in the game yet. So, that's not great. That's okay though. It's not a ginormous thing, and I know it's to encourage you to play other Pokemon games, but considering the fact that Sword and Shield is really the only mainline Pokemon game on the console right now, I don't know. I feel like they could have, hired more people. I feel like there must be a solution that doesn't require just straight up axing so many. So, but I don't know. What do I know? 5 favorite thing about Pokemon in general is I love the blend of cute Pokemon and cool Pokemon, and especially weird Pokemon. It would have been so easy, especially since their most popular Pokemon, and especially in the beginning, was Pikachu. It would have been so easy for them to make every Pokemon cute or every Pokemon cool or focus specifically on like those two, but they really outdo themselves with really creative, like, out there designs sometimes, with even very weird looking Pokemon. Yeah, that are, even though they look so weird, are still so charming. Like, there's so many. I can't, like, I'm trying to find what specific example in my head, but there's so many. It's so hard to limit it to just one. There's so many cool ones. I'll just, here, right up here, future me, just put a couple right here. Hopefully I don't forget. That'd be no good. But I love that blend, and how, even though I mostly like cute Pokemon, I love the weird ones, even the cool ones sometimes. are just some of my favorites. I love that diversity. Number 4 of the worst things I hate about Pokemon, and this one isn't necessarily about the games themselves, it's more the fan base. And I'm a giant Pokemon fan, and I definitely consider myself part of the fandom. But I feel like the fandom, especially like some very hardcore Pokemon fans, have a hard time, you know, they're very defensive about the games, which is totally fine. If you love something to death that much, that you're so committed to it, I totally super duper to see what you like. I see what your goal is and your intent, and you just love it. You don't want anyone to hate on it, and that's totally fine. But especially when new creature catching games come out and they're automatically attacked by Pokemon fans claiming they're like Pokemon clones, even if they do very different things, it makes the community look very aggressive and very hateful, and it really discourages people from trying to expand the market. There's like, when Temtem came out, I remember there were a lot of Pokemon fans just destroying it, saying that was just a Pokemon clone and no one should play it, and this and that. And it's like, even if a lot of the things it's inspired by Pokemon, I feel like, I don't know, it's like, it's definitely not the most open-minded fan base. But then again, a lot of the fan bases I'm part of are not super open-minded, but that's fine. It's like family. Even if they're not the most open-minded, you still love them, and you still agree with them for the most part. So, yeah, I wish they'd be a little more chill sometimes, realize like, hey, maybe just because this game is also about capturing like monster-like creatures, that maybe we shouldn't just tear it apart because it might threaten our game. So that's just my little 2 cents. Number 4 favorite thing about Pokemon is that it's really easy to get into. There are a lot of other like creature capturing games, like say Digimon or Ni no Kuni or I don't even know how to pronounce it right. I'm sorry. Oh boy, I can't help it. I pronounce it chorizo, even though I grow up with Mexicans. Like most of my family is very Mexican, so it's supposed to be chorizo, but that just shows how white I am. But like those kind of games, they are a little bit intimidating, I would say, to people who have never played them before or who are not really accustomed to them, especially like Digimon, where a lot of the games change pretty drastically between titles. So for someone who wants to get into it, it could be a little intimidating. As you compare to Pokemon, where it's very sort of, you know what you're going to get, it's mostly the same formula every time, and if you like it, then you'll love the new one, most likely. So, I hope you know what I mean. It's just, like, I really want to try more creature capturing games like that, but just some of them, I'm a little scared. Third least favorite thing about Pokemon is Charizard. I mean, if you know, you know why. It's just, can we please have someone other than Charizard get all the attention? Please don't attack me, I'm sorry. Third favorite thing about Pokemon is the music. Some of the music, aside from the very iconic, like very big songs, they're surprisingly good for a game like Pokemon. Like, especially like Gen 5. I mean, sure, I love Unova, and I'm probably a little biased, but there's so many amazing songs in it. I definitely can't play them for copyright reasons, but they're just amazing. Like Castelia Town's theme, like, it is Castelia? Oh my gosh, it's been a while. I'm sorry. But like that, and like the Elite Four theme, and the Team Plasma theme. I swear, every single time the Team Plasma theme comes on when you fight even just in grunt, it's just like, it's a fucking bop. Even some of the newer gens, like Gen 8, like some of the music in that is really good. Especially that Toby Fox song. It's such a banger. Like, come on, even if you don't like Toby Fox that much, you can't deny that. My number 2 thing I don't like about Pokemon, it kind of piggybacks a little bit off of what I said for my number 3, but there's so much Gen 1 pandering, and I know they'll probably get heat because Gen 1 especially, I know, is a big fan favorite, and it is a big favorite Pokemon's, obviously, since they definitely focus on it a lot. But there's so many other gens, like there's literally 7 more, and they're, I would say, almost an improvement. While there are a lot of very iconic Pokemon in it, and of course it is the first one, so I totally see why there's nostalgia and why it's so important. but I feel like there's so much pandering towards it that, like, I don't know. I feel like it could definitely take a backseat to some gens that are not all that, like, focused on. Like, for example, I would love more Kalos content. Like, I would love it. Kalos had so many, even though it's not a fan favorite as nearly as much as Gen 1 is. There's so many Pokemon I love in it, and it's so good. And I don't know, even Alola, I feel like needs a lot more attention. It's just, I feel like Gen 1 takes so much attention from other gens, and maybe, I don't know if it deserves it. Favorite thing about Pokemon is, again, not one that really relates to the games themselves, but I love how you could get a plushie for, like, every Pokemon. I know not every single, well, maybe every single one. Even Pokemon that I never even thought would have plushies has one somewhere that was made at some point. Like, one of my favorite Pokemon ever is Duosion. And I would think, surely there can be a plushie of Duosion. And there is. And I'm so surprised, and I love it. I am such a massive stuffed animal and plushie fan. And especially when Pokemon comes out, even if there's a very cute Pokemon that isn't very viable, say, for battle, I look forward to when the plushie comes out so that I can at least have it in some way. I really love it, even if my bank account doesn't. Number one thing I hate about Pokemon is almost it's like a continuation kind of one of my positive points from earlier, which is I feel like it's almost too simple, and that Game Freak is so scared of evolving, which is kind of ironic. It's just like, I don't know, it feels like, I wouldn't say they're lazy by any means, but they're so scared of taking risks. And the risks they take usually are very safe risks. They're not, like, sure, Dynamax was a big risk, and it was, I would say, had mixed results. At least it was something new. But also, I think they feel that if they carry, like, the past gimmicks into the new gens, it would be too risky, because maybe that'd be too complicated. They definitely like to keep it simple. And it really is a shame that so many of the cool gimmicks that they've had in the past, like Mega Evolution, and things like that, are scrapped in favor of new things. And I'm sure Dynamax will be scrapped as soon as the next gen comes along, whatever its new gimmick is. And it's so unfortunate, because instead of building on what they have and expanding and trying new things, they're very scared, I feel like. And knowing how they make games, I could definitely see why. There's a video by Loxin and Noggin, which I'll definitely attach somewhere. It'll definitely be in the description at the very least. But I feel like it explains a lot of it explains how Game Freak really needs to evolve. Since right now, I feel like it's almost becoming, like, I want to say lame. It definitely feels like it's becoming almost outdated. Because especially compared to other games on the Switch, it feels dated. Like, it feels like it should be a game from last gen, almost. And I definitely think that it's the best looking Pokemon 3D game we've ever had, but I don't know if that's a huge plus. I don't know. I love Pokemon to death, but I definitely think that they could do more. I don't think they will, but if they do, it'll be very slowly. Number one favorite thing in all of Pokemon is I love that every single Pokemon, no matter how weird, no matter how obscure, no matter just how, like, no matter how uncharming it might be to some people, everyone has a favorite Pokemon, and every Pokemon is someone's favorite. Even if there's a Pokemon you think, why would someone's favorite be that? Even if there's like it's a Bruxfish, or like a Weezing, or like, what's another Pokemon that's kind of like that? I would say Garbodor, but I like Garbodor. I'm sure a lot of people do, because it has a Gigantamax, so clearly some people do like it. And every single Pokemon is someone's favorite, and I think that's one of the most amazing parts of Pokemon, is that it's such, like, there's so much love with every single one. And until, like, the Dex Cut came out, it allowed anyone to have their favorite Pokemon in any gen. Because, well, except for, like, you couldn't transfer, like, a Pokemon from X and Y to, like, Gen 3, but you know what I mean. It's like, I love it because it just, no matter how obscure, no matter how wonky you think a Pokemon is, it will absolutely be someone's favorite. Even if you don't think anyone remembers it, it might be someone's favorite. For example, even though Shaymin's my favorite Pokemon, my two next favorite is Elgyem and Duosion. And those are definitely not Pokemon that are remembered as much as others, but I love them to death. I am so happy they're there, and when they're not there, trust me, I feel it. And I know that other people have the same thing with other Pokemon. Like, for example, my boyfriend, he loves Spoink, and I love Spoink too. He has a lot of, he loves a lot more thanks to a fan game that I will be playing later this month. So hopefully that, and I love it because I fall in love with Pokemon that I used to not like. Like, for example, I love, what's it called? Not Snubchew. It's like a little tiny ice bear, and it has a little runny nose, and I'm sure, Cubchoo. And even though I love Cubchoo, I used to hate Beartic. But thanks to Sword and Shield, I got to play around with one more, and I love it now. And it's so amazing how Pokemon just has, no matter how much a Pokemon looks weird to you, it's like every single person loves every single Pokemon. Like, they don't all love the same Pokemon, but like every Pokemon is someone's favorite. I think that's really magical. So that's kind of it. I hope that I didn't offend you by making fun of anything that you like in this video. Like, trust me, I don't hate Charizard as much as I make, and I don't hate Gen 1 as much as I say. Like, I love Eevee to death. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, and I think Charizard Mega Evolutions are super cool. I wish other Pokemon would get the spotlight, because it gets everything, and I think there's a lot more Fire-type Pokemon that could get the spotlight too. So, I don't know. So, to celebrate the 25th anniversary, I'm also going to be playing some Pokemon games, some actual Pokemon games, some Pokemon fan games, and some Pokemon adjacent games. So definitely, if you like anything like Monster Catchy, definitely check out some of my videos later this month, and I hope you really like them, because I know I'm going to be having tons of fun. So, okay, I love you, and I want to rub you too. Oh, girl.